How is your power of persuasion? Did you know that people with well-developed persuasive skills are 25% more likely to achieve their goals, both professionally and personally, than those who lack these skills? Studies have repeatedly shown that persuasive individuals not only earn more over the course of their lives, but also enjoy greater satisfaction in their relationships, social lives, and personal lives. Persuasion goes far beyond being just a useful tool. It is often the difference that separates those who only dream of success from those who actually achieve it. Think about it. No matter how hard you work or how well qualified you are, if you cannot persuade others, your efforts may go unnoticed. In a world where we are constantly competing for attention, excellent persuasive skills are often more powerful than hard work alone. This ability is what makes a charismatic person more likely to be promoted or noticed than someone who just works hard in silence. Persuasive people are those who can stand out and make an impact, who make their ideas heard and remembered. Imagine a highly competent professional who works day and night but doesn't know how to strategically demonstrate his or her value. He or she may be the most qualified person in the office, but without the ability to capture the attention of his or her superiors, his or her achievements may never be recognized. In contrast, someone with strong persuasive skills can, in a few words, gain the trust and respect of colleagues and bosses, leading them to see the value in his or her ideas and contributions. This is not to say that effort and dedication are not important, but rather that without the driving force of persuasion, even the hardest work can end up wasted. The most persuasive people in the world understand this deeply. They know that success doesn't just come from having a good idea or expertise. Before they even present their projects or arguments, they've already laid the groundwork. They've built an image of trust, demonstrated charisma, and created an emotional connection with their audience. Persuasion, for them, begins long before the first speech. These individuals work to understand the psychology of the people around them, figuring out what motivates them and what makes them pay attention. So what exactly is persuasion? At its core, persuasion is the art of influencing others to see things from your perspective, whether it's pitching an idea, negotiating a salary, or simply convincing a friend to join you for a workout. Persuasion has its roots in everyday interactions and extends to almost every part of our lives. It's essential in business, where closing a deal or leading a team depends on the ability to inspire others. It's equally crucial in our personal lives, whether it's convincing a child to try a new food or encouraging a partner to plan for a future goal. However, persuasion is something that many struggle with, and the consequences of ineffective persuasion can be significant. Poor persuasion leads to misunderstandings, missed opportunities, and strained relationships. People often wonder why others don't listen to them or why their ideas never gain traction. The gap between intention and impact in communication can seem insurmountable, and for those who fail to master it, even great ideas can fall by the wayside. Persuasion is the art of influencing others to embrace your ideas, values, or goals. It's a vital skill that can make all the difference in getting what you want. Effective persuasion can convince investors to fund your startup, inspire teammates to collaborate, or even convince a loved one to support your dreams. Yet, mastering the art of persuasion is no easy task. Many people struggle to express their thoughts clearly and impactfully, to establish a genuine connection with their audience, or to overcome objections convincingly. This process requires a combination of interpersonal skills, empathy, and clarity of expression, characteristics that are not always easy to develop. When persuasion is not effective, the consequences can be considerable. Important opportunities end up being wasted, personal and professional relationships can become strained or cold, and an individual's true potential remains underutilized, often becoming invisible to others. Furthermore, a lack of persuasive skills can create a sense of frustration. Imagine constantly trying to get an idea across but failing, or struggling to have your opinions heard and taken seriously, only to be met with resistance or indifference from others. The lack of effective persuasion creates barriers that limit not only the progress of goals and projects, but also self-confidence, as the person may begin to doubt their own ability to impact the environment around them. A lack of persuasion skills can generate a cycle of stagnation and missed opportunities in many areas of life. Without the ability to convince, inspire, or engage others, an individual feels constantly limited, even when they have great ideas or potential to contribute. This lack of impact creates an environment of frustration and doubt, affecting not only the success of projects and goals, but also the way the person sees themselves in the world. The lack of persuasion means being unable to influence decisions, having fewer opportunities for growth, and often feeling invisible to others. Imagine, for example, a scenario in the workplace. Adriana is a talented and dedicated professional who always delivers high-quality projects. However, When the time comes to propose new ideas or advocate for improvements, she is unable to engage her boss and teammates. In meetings, her suggestions go unnoticed or fail to spark the interest of her superiors. Without persuasive skills, Mariana ends up missing out on opportunities to stand out, and her ideas, which could lead to great progress for the team, are forgotten. In the long run, this situation leads to frustration, and Mariana begins to feel undervalued and to question her place in the company. Another example can be seen in personal relationships. John is someone who cares deeply about his family and wants to positively influence his children, encouraging them to adopt healthy habits and study hard. However, his direct and unempathetic approach ends up creating resistance. His children, instead of feeling inspired, feel pressured and end up distancing themselves or ignoring his advice. Without the ability to persuade with sensitivity and understanding, John finds it difficult to motivate them and build a relationship of trust. This lack of persuasion affects the relationship, and John's intentions, no matter how good they are, fail to create the desired impact on his children's lives. These situations show how the lack of persuasion can limit the achievement of goals and harm relationships. Without this skill, ideas lack support, relationships become distant, and opportunities are lost. So, if you want to stand out, whether at work, in relationships, or in your social life, developing persuasion skills can be the secret to opening doors that might otherwise seem inaccessible. What, after all, sets truly persuasive people apart from the rest? There are many factors, but two characteristics stand out and are almost always the foundation of the ability to influence and engage: effective communication and genuine empathy. These qualities not only make interactions more engaging, but also create a foundation of trust, respect, and credibility, which are essential to achieving what you want. Let's take a look at 7 skills that make persuasive people get what they want. 1. Effective communication. This is one of the most powerful skills of a persuasive person. In order to be persuasive, it is not enough to just have good ideas or information. It is necessary to know how to present them in a way that captures and maintains the audience's attention. Successful persuaders know that a compelling message needs to be presented clearly and engagingly. To do this, they use storytelling techniques, which help transform complex information into exciting and memorable stories. A good narrative not only informs, but also engages and inspires, allowing the listener or viewer to feel emotionally connected to what is being said. In addition, persuasive people choose their language carefully, opting for words that have impact and resonance. They avoid jargon and complicated terms, preferring accessible and engaging communication that makes anyone feel comfortable understanding and reflecting on the message. In this way, they make their ideas accessible, regardless of the audience's level of knowledge on the subject. This type of communication is key to effective persuasion because it transforms the message into something memorable, which increases the chances of it being accepted and defended. In their narrative, they present facts and data clearly, create an emotional connection with the audience, and motivate action and reflection. Persuasive people use narrative elements such as personal stories, concrete examples, metaphors, vivid images. Persuasive people choose words carefully, considering impact, words that resonate emotionally, clarity, avoiding jargon and complicated terms, accessibility, language understandable to everyone, and this approach makes their ideas accessible, memorable, and acceptable. Effective communication is essential to persuasion. Persuasive people know how to present their ideas in a way that is engaging, clear, and accessible, making them memorable and acceptable. Developing this skill is essential for anyone who wants to influence and inspire others. 2. Empathy. Persuasive individuals have a keen sensitivity to the emotions and needs of others. They not only speak, but also listen and observe, seeking to truly understand the perspective and feelings of those they interact with. This empathy allows them to connect with their audience, which is essential to building trust and genuine connection. Persuasion is rarely successful if people feel like they are being manipulated or that their opinions are being ignored. By demonstrating empathy, the persuader signals that they value and respect the opinions of others, thus establishing a solid foundation of trust. Empathy also means knowing how to adjust one's message to better align with the values, desires, and motivations of others. For example, an empathetic person can sense when someone is hesitant and adjust their approach, either by de-escalating their argument or by offering support rather than insisting. This sensitivity allows persuasive people to overcome objections in subtle ways that create rapport rather than resistance. This balance between listening and responding is what transforms ordinary communication into a meaningful and influential interaction. 3. Confidence. Persuasive people radiate a self-assurance that enhances the impact of their ideas and makes them more engaging and convincing. This confidence goes far beyond believing in what they are saying. It is also the ability to convey this belief with a mix of assertiveness and genuine curiosity. They speak with confidence, but are equally open to dialogue and learning, which creates balanced and accessible communication. This confident posture makes others feel not only interested, but also comfortable listening, reflecting, and considering new perspectives. The kind of confidence these people demonstrate goes beyond simple assertiveness. It is an expression of genuine inner security, built on a foundation of self-knowledge and authenticity. Persuasive people know who they are and are comfortable with their own convictions, which inspires confidence in others. They do not need to use domineering tones or the need to win an argument. Instead, they exude calmness and consistency in their words and actions, which creates an environment of respect and openness. This self-confidence is especially evident in moments of pressure or when facing challenges and opposition. Rather than retreating or becoming defensive, they maintain a calm and poised presence, demonstrating that they are prepared to support their ideas without losing their cool. This inspiring attitude further attracts the attention of others, as it shows that, even under adverse circumstances, they have emotional control and clarity of thought that strengthens the credibility of their message. Furthermore, their confidence allows them to navigate complex or uncertain situations with ease. They feel comfortable making adjustments to their approach without compromising their values or convictions. This flexible and adaptive confidence not only solidifies one's own posture, but also creates an inspiring effect on others, who feel motivated to learn and grow alongside one another. A persuasive person's confidence, then, is much more than a personal characteristic. It is a quality that generates positive impact, that resonates and encourages others to engage with greater openness and willingness. 4. Active listening. Active listening is one of the most powerful and fundamental skills of persuasive people, and it goes far beyond simply paying attention while the other person speaks. They demonstrate a genuine interest in understanding the point of view and needs of the person they are listening to, which makes others feel valued and respected. When a persuasive person practices active listening, they fully engage in the conversation, not only observing the words being spoken, but also the emotions and intentions behind them. This approach allows them to pick up on subtleties and nuances, which often reveal important information about the speaker's real concerns and motivations. Active listening, for these people, is an essential tool for creating an authentic connection. By listening carefully, they can tailor their own message, carefully and specifically addressing the issues that really matter to the other person. This type of empathy communicates that they are committed to seeking mutual understanding and not just convincing the other person to accept a point of view. This behavior creates an atmosphere of trust, where the interlocutor feels more open and inclined to share their thoughts and opinions honestly, without fear of judgment. Another important aspect of active listening is the ability to respond directly and respectfully to concerns and questions. Rather than deflecting or minimizing a question, the persuasive person acknowledges the legitimacy of those concerns and addresses them seriously. This type of validating response makes the interlocutor feel that their opinions are being taken into account and that they are part of a two-way interaction. Persuasive people avoid interruptions and instead wait for the appropriate moment to respond, which allows the interlocutor to feel truly heard and understood. Additionally, active listening helps persuasive people tailor their message in a personalized way, adjusting their approach to resonate more strongly with each specific individual or group. They can identify which aspects of the conversation have the most emotional or intellectual relevance for others and can then structure their response in a way that meets those needs. For example, if a practical concern is expressed, they can present direct and objective solutions. If the issue is more emotional, they are able to offer support and understanding, connecting on a deeper level. 5. Flexibility. Persuasive people master the art of flexibility and know that their effectiveness depends, in large part, on their ability to adjust their approach to the characteristics of each interlocutor and the context of each situation. They understand that people have different personalities, preferences, and ways of processing information. With this awareness, persuasive individuals adapt their tone, vocabulary, and even the level of formality of the conversation so that the message perfectly fits the profile and emotional state of the person listening. This ability allows them to establish meaningful connections with people from all walks of life and communication styles, ranging from formal, technical dialogues to more informal and friendly interactions. Flexibility also manifests itself in the ability of these people to adjust their argumentation strategy based on the feedback they receive. They observe the reactions of their audience and, instead of rigidly insisting on a single approach, they assess the emotional response and adapt the tone of the conversation. For example, if they notice an expression of hesitation or discomfort, they are quick to soften the approach, reformulate the message, or even introduce a friendlier and more welcoming tone. This ability to adapt becomes essential to overcoming objections and gaining the attention and trust of the interlocutor. Another advantage of flexibility is that persuasive people are able to approach a situation or audience from different angles. They adjust the type of argument they use, be it logical, emotional, or practical, based on what they perceive as being most relevant to the listener. In front of an analytical audience, they can highlight data, statistics, and facts to reinforce their position. With an audience that values emotional connections, they bring stories, personal examples, or emotional appeals to create a stronger bond. This ability to vary their approach based on the person they're talking to gives them an almost intuitive ability to persuade different types of people. Flexibility is especially crucial when they encounter resistance or disagreement. Persuasive individuals don't see resistance as an insurmountable barrier, but as a signal to adjust the angle of their argument. Rather than forcing a line of reasoning or confronting directly, they experiment with different perspectives until they find one that resonates best with the other party. This ability to navigate around resistance demonstrates an openness to adaptation and understanding, which makes the other person more likely to consider the idea being presented. In essence, flexibility allows persuasive people to build bridges in any scenario, overcome objections subtly and effectively, and ensure that their message is received in a clear and welcoming manner. They demonstrate not only the ability to adjust, but also a genuine willingness to understand others, which has a profound and positive impact on interactions and increases their chances of success in any situation. 6. Credibility. Credibility is the cornerstone for a persuasive person to gain the trust and respect of their listeners. Without it, even the most well-structured messages tend to be met with skepticism, and people may question the intentions or validity of what is being said. Persuasive individuals understand the importance of credibility and, therefore, dedicate themselves to cultivating it consistently and genuinely. They seek to become authorities in their fields, accumulating in-depth knowledge, practical experience, and a clear understanding of the topics they address, which allows them to speak with confidence and authority. A persuasive person's credibility begins with the way they present themselves, with authenticity and an open demeanor. They avoid the temptation to embellish their experiences or exaggerate their abilities. Instead, they speak with transparency and are honest about what they know and what they are still discovering. This transparency sends a powerful message of integrity, and the fact that they admit when they do not have an answer or are unsure about a topic further strengthens their credibility. By acknowledging their own limitations, they show that they are not afraid to show vulnerability, which creates an empathetic and close effect, leading the other person to trust their words more. Another key component of credibility is consistency. Persuasive people align their words and actions so that their intentions are always clear and coherent. This consistent behavior reinforces the perception that they are trustworthy and committed to the truth. They do not make empty promises or try to manipulate the situation to gain an advantage. On the contrary, they sustain their stance with unwavering honesty, making the people around them know that they can count on them. This consistency between what they say and do over time builds a solid reputation, where others feel safe to accept their ideas and consider them positively. In addition, a persuasive person knows that credibility also involves technical and practical mastery of the subjects addressed. To this end, they are constantly updating themselves and studying, so that they can answer questions and offer relevant insights with ease. This demonstration of technical and practical competence increases the respect that others have for them, as they realize that they are in the presence of someone who not only knows the theory, but also applies it and understands the nuances of their field. In short, a persuasive person's credibility is built on a foundation of knowledge, authenticity, consistency, and transparency. These qualities combined make the person a trustworthy and inspiring figure, whose opinion is valued and whose ideas have a real impact. When they speak, their words carry a special weight, and the people around them are more receptive and open to considering them, because they know that they are in the presence of someone whose word is worth a lot. 7. Passion. Passion is the driving force that energizes all the other characteristics of a persuasive person. It is the element that transforms ordinary communication into an engaging and inspiring experience. When a person speaks with passion, their words come to life, conveying a genuine enthusiasm that is almost impossible to ignore. This passion is not just an emotional touch. It is a deep expression of commitment to the message being shared. Persuasive people don't just believe what they say, they live and breathe their ideas, and this intensity shines through in their body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions. These physical cues are crucial because they create an immediate emotional connection with the audience, allowing the message to resonate on a deeper level. Passion acts as a catalyst for engagement, making the listener feel like they're speaking to someone authentic, who truly cares about what they are communicating. This emotional engagement is often what sparks the interest of others and prompts them to open up to new possibilities. More than simply convincing, passion inspires, pushing people to see beyond the obvious and become emotionally invested in the vision being presented. This is especially important in moments of resistance or doubt, because a passionate person can convey such vibrant energy that it dissolves barriers and encourages the audience to reflect and engage in a positive way. Furthermore, passion is contagious. When someone speaks with genuine enthusiasm, it is common for that enthusiasm to spread, creating a climate of excitement and motivation. This impact extends beyond the present moment. It creates a lasting effect. People inspired by someone passionate tend to share their ideas and replicate that energy with others, helping to amplify the message. This makes passion a powerful tool of influence, as it not only communicates the vision convincingly, but also creates a support network that can continue to spread the message. Passion also demonstrates a high level of dedication, which is crucial to a persuasive person's credibility. Those who speak with passion convey the impression that they are willing to go the extra mile, take on challenges, and invest time and effort to achieve a goal. This determination is inspiring to others, who see the persuasive person as an example of commitment. This creates a positive cycle, where passion strengthens credibility and increases people's willingness to join the cause. It is not just an accessory in persuasive communication. It is the beating heart that makes the message memorable and irresistible. It generates an emotional connection that transcends the content of the words and creates a transformative experience for the audience. It is this energy, intense and contagious, that leads people to get involved, to believe and, often, to become enthusiastic supporters. Passion, therefore, is what makes a persuasive person a true inspirational force. 8. Freedom of choice. Persuasive people respect the other person's independence. This may seem counterintuitive, but by giving someone the freedom to choose, you create an environment that fosters trust and rapport. When you allow someone to choose, you are implicitly saying, "I respect your ability to make decisions." This has a profound impact on human psychology. People tend to feel more comfortable and secure when they have control over their choices. By respecting this independence, you create a sense of autonomy, which is essential for building trust. At the same time, by giving someone the freedom to choose, you remove the pressure that can arise when someone feels forced to agree. Pressure can create resistance and make the other person feel uncomfortable. Conversely, when you respect independence, you create a relaxed environment where the other person feels free to consider their options. The combination of respecting independence and removing pressure creates fertile ground for building rapport. Rapport is the emotional connection you establish with someone, and it is essential for persuasion. When you respect someone else's independence, you are saying, "I value your opinion and your ability to make decisions." This creates a sense of equality and mutuality, which is essential for building a relationship of trust. 9. Informal setting. The setting in which a conversation takes place can be crucial to the other person's willingness to listen and consider their ideas. Persuasive people understand that the place chosen for an interaction has the power to influence the emotional atmosphere, which is why they often opt for informal settings that encourage closeness and connection. Formal settings, such as meeting rooms or offices, can bring a sense of rigidity, leaving interlocutors more tense and less open to spontaneous and receptive dialogue. Informal settings, such as cafes, parks, or even common areas, help create a more relaxed and welcoming atmosphere, where formal barriers disappear and everyone feels more comfortable expressing their opinions. This choice reduces the pressure and stress associated with conversations that may be difficult or delicate, establishing a tone of equality and mutual respect. In a relaxed environment, people feel more inclined to be honest and vulnerable, opening space for authentic and unrestricted communication. An informal environment encourages spontaneity, facilitating more sincere exchanges and fostering the emergence of empathy. This choice helps the listener to relax, enabling a deeper emotional connection, as they feel in a space where they can share ideas and concerns without judgment. Persuasive people know that by establishing this closeness in an environment that promotes comfort and relaxation, the conversation flows more naturally and emotional engagement is much stronger, increasing the chances that their ideas will be well received and considered carefully. 10. Risky questions. The questions you ask in a conversation can be just as important as the answers you receive. Risky questions are those that go beyond the superficial and encourage the other person to think more critically and reflectively. These questions have the power to provoke a new perspective on the topic being discussed, challenging the other person to consider angles they might not have imagined. By introducing this type of questioning into the conversation, you can stimulate creativity and innovation, opening up space for original ideas and new possibilities. These questions are also effective in revealing hidden needs and desires. When we encourage the other person to reflect and explore their own perspectives, they end up feeling more comfortable sharing their motivations, fears, and aspirations. This not only strengthens the bond between you, but also creates a sense of involvement and participation, which makes the other person feel valued and truly part of the communication process. Asking risky questions also demonstrates a genuine interest in the other person. Asking the why of an opinion or decision, for example, challenges assumptions and allows you to explore the person's thoughts and beliefs in more depth. This type of questioning not only promotes self-analysis, but also helps the other person see their own ideas from a new perspective, leading them to reflect on topics they might not have considered before. From there, opportunities arise for innovative solutions, as both you and the other person are encouraged to think outside the box, opening doors to a deeper and more creative dialogue. In addition, risky questions create an environment of trust and openness, where the other person feels safe to share and explore their ideas freely. This type of interaction can be transformative, as it not only increases mutual understanding, but also contributes to growth and learning. Bill Gates is a remarkable example of persuasion and leadership. His ability to convince and inspire people was fundamental to the success of Microsoft, when in 1980, he persuaded IBM to use MS-DOS on its computers, making it the standard program for the industry. Gates also convinced investors and developers to invest in Windows, revolutionizing the graphical user interface. He has always been self-confident and a great storyteller, making it easy for him to involve others with his way of thinking and acting. His ability to persuade is still very remarkable today, not only in his life as a great businessman, but also as a philanthropist, where he presents a clear, innovative, and inspiring vision for the future, understanding the needs and challenges of others through his project, with his wife, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, persuading and convincing world leaders to invest in campaigns that impact millions of lives. In a speech at the TED Conference in 2014, Bill Gates said, "Technology is just a tool, real change comes from people." Speaking of technology, like Gates, Steve Jobs was also a master of persuasion, able to inspire and motivate crowds with his vision of innovation and design. His power of persuasion came from his ability to combine intense passion, engaging storytelling, and an unshakable confidence in his ideas, which were often revolutionary. Jobs knew how to engage people emotionally, making them believe not only in the product, but also in the greater purpose behind it. He presented his ideas with a simplicity and clarity that made complex concepts accessible and exciting, creating an immediate connection with his audience. An iconic example of Jobs' power of persuasion was the launch of the iPhone in 2007. When he introduced it, Jobs didn't describe the device as just a phone. He positioned it as a transformative tool that would change the way people communicate, work, and play. He emphasized its elegant design and intuitive interface, using storytelling that engaged his audience in an emotional experience. As a result, the presentation not only captivated the audience and generated worldwide enthusiasm, but also changed the course of technology, popularizing the smartphone as an essential part of modern life. Jobs said, "Your own mind is your biggest enemy. Don't let it hold you back." These 7 qualities, communication, empathy, trust, active listening, flexibility, credibility, and passion, form the essential foundation for the power to positively influence those around you. Each of these characteristics works in synergy, giving the message a unique impact that can captivate, convince, and inspire. Persuasive people don't just share ideas. They transform the interaction into an authentic experience that makes the listener not only understand, but also feel the importance of the message. They have the ability to turn ideas into lasting inspirations and then transform those inspirations into concrete, practical action. So, if you're looking to improve your ability to influence, think about how you can strengthen these qualities in yourself. After all, persuasion goes far beyond words. It's about building trust, listening with intention, adapting to the context, and putting your passion into everything you do. And by applying these qualities, you'll be closer to turning your ideas into reality. All of these qualities, when developed, not only help you achieve your goals, but also strengthen relationships and promote positive influence. After all, people who communicate well and demonstrate true empathy are able to create an environment where their ideas are not only heard, but also respected and accepted. Share your own experiences with persuasion in the comments. When was a time when you needed to use these skills? Did you identify with any of these qualities, or have you used any of them to positively influence someone? And if you are looking to further develop your persuasive skills, here are some practical suggestions for exercising these skills. 1. Develop active listening. Practice listening carefully before responding. When talking to friends, family, or colleagues, Focus on really understanding what they are saying, without planning your response in advance. This creates more genuine connections and helps develop empathy. 2. Improve your communication. Try to speak more clearly and objectively, using examples and stories to illustrate your point of view. Practice in front of a mirror or record yourself to understand how to adjust your tone, body language, and facial expressions to convey confidence and trust. 3. Try adapting to different contexts. If you have an idea or opinion to share, try communicating in different ways depending on the person or situation. This helps you practice your flexibility and observe the impact of your adaptations. 4. Build your confidence. Effective persuasion depends on the confidence you convey. Write down your achievements and tell yourself why you believe in what you're saying. This helps you develop a stronger, more convincing presence. 5. Communicate with passion. Identify a topic you're passionate about and share it with friends or colleagues, putting that passion into your speech. Notice how your enthusiasm can rub off on others and make adjustments to make it even more impactful. We hope these tips help you feel more confident and prepared to persuade in a positive and inspiring way. And if you enjoyed this content, be sure to check out our other videos on communication skills and personal and financial development. See you later, and let's strengthen our influence and connection skills together.